What up, peeps? Welcome to my channel. It's a story time. It's a traumatic story, and you guys are probably gonna laugh at me, but I gotta tell you about what happened to me today that was so traumatic that I think it changed my life. Okay, so if you're new, welcome. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that bell for notifications. So this is so traumatic. So I had to take a COVID test, right? And this is something I've been dreading. Like, I don't know. I'm the type of person, like, I get super, like, creeped out about different things, like needles. Last year when I had to have the flu shot for my medical job, it was like mandated that you had to take it, and I waited to the very last day. The nurses held me down and gave me the shot. I was like hollering, making a big old thing, and I don't like needles. I just don't like different things. I just went to the eye doctor last week. He couldn't even do the eye pressure test on me because I was freaking out. So I'm just weird like that. I don't like objects coming at me, going in my I'm weird like that. So okay, so I had to take this COVID test. So oh my goodness. So it's been in my mind, and I know I had to do it. Did not want to do it. So you know how you have to like justify your feelings. So I called up my husband. I said, Dale, what do you think? He was like, woo 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 woo. Talk to your pastor. I was like, oh, okay. So I called my pastor, and he made me feel like he brings things to like all the way around, and he's just like, man, you're right. So he brought it around to me where I felt like I was about to start crying on the phone. He was like, how would you feel if you had it and then somebody died because you had it and you just spread it? So I was like feeling ashamed and like guilty, and I was like, well, I have to take the test. So, oh my goodness, I'm like traumatized thinking about it. So I had to be in this line, and the whole time, like, I'm like hyping myself up, like, oh man, Ashley, this is crazy. I'm looking around, and literally there are like a lot of hills, and I'm looking around in this line, and I'm thinking I could run and nobody will even know. I could just run out of here. So I'm so mad at myself that I had on sandals. Did not have on something this morning. It was like, wear something comfortable, like some shoes, and I was like, I'm just wearing some sandals. So long story short, even though I'm a little bit chunky, I could still run. And I was thinking about that. I was like, I can make it out of here. And this is the kind of thoughts that were going on in my head. I was like, I could just run over these hills. I could just take off my shoes. I could just take off running, because I don't want to get this test done. This line, I'm seeing like 4 people in front of me. So I'm over here in the park. I'm just tripping out. So now after I fill out the papers, we'll have them do little stuff. I got up to the table, and I was like really thinking that now is my chance to run, like dead serious. And I'm just really tripping out because there's like 1, 2, 3, like 4 people in front of me, and I'm literally like, people trying to calm me down, like it's gonna be okay, and I'm not hearing what they're saying because I don't want nothing stuck up my nose. I didn't want that. So as it began closer, like I see people going there, but it was so weird because they did not look back and just like that, like it wasn't no biggie. It was just like after they got it, they just kept on walking, and that made me freak out even worse. I was like, what is going on? It was making me so scared. So then when it was one person in front of me, I really started panicking. Like I seriously had to I thought about throwing up. I'm like tripping out at this point. So when the nurse, she saw me, the one who's administering the test, and she was like, I was like, nah. She was like, come on. And I was like, no. And there were people like behind me, and they're probably looking like, come on, just go. And I'm like, So I sit down, I'm freaking out. Like, I'm just like, I can't do this. I was like, you need to explain to me, like, can I see how big this thing is? How far back does it go? I'm asking every single question I can think of because I don't want to be caught off surprise. I'm like, now what happens if I jerk my head back? What's gonna happen? She's like, don't do that. And I'm just like, easier said than done. So I think she knew that I was like tripping out. I'm telling you, I was like freaking out like to the maximum at this point. I'm on 100. I'm just like, I can't do this. I got to go. And I promise I was like, I can't do it. So when she put the sucker in my nose, my automatic reaction was to jerk back. I just wanted to like and take off running. But I had to sit there and like endure this long thing stuck up my nose. And she was like, it's going to be 10 seconds. And I promise you, she laughed. She was probably like, hee 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 hee. And it was like, 1,000, 1, 2, 3. And then it was like, 2, 3. It was like literally like 5 minutes. She was in there just like, 1,000, 1,002. I may be exaggerating, but that's what it felt like. It felt like it was like half an hour that thing was stuck so far back in my nose. It hurt, and I was over here I just wanted to scream. Like, literally, I wanted to, and I even yelled. I kind of said, like, this is longer than 10 seconds. And she was like, ha ha ha. And she was like, 1,003, blah, blah. And I was like literally about to just wig out. And I just like yelled, and I was like, this is more than 10 seconds. And like, she finally released it, got that out of my nose, and like, I was like, this is it. And she was like, yeah. And I just got up and I started sweating. I just want to throw up. I heard him rain in the bathroom. I cried. Don't even judge me because I sure did cry. I was over here having a panic attack. My face was red. I was putting some cold water on it. I'm tripping out. I had to be in the bathroom for a good 5 minutes. I was over the toilet gagging because it just like all the stuff had me tripping out. And then I just finally calmed down. I took out, things are real when you take out your church fan. I took out my church fan out of my purse, and I started fanning myself. And I just finally calmed down. And then I could still feel it. It's been hours, and I could still feel where that thing was touched the inside of my brain. I could feel where it was at. Like, I could feel how thick that little thing was. I could feel everything right now in my nose, like currently. And this has been like some hours back. But literally, it was so traumatic. And so on my lunch break, I just had to go home. I had to go home and eat some tacos, and I had to just chill out for a second. And my daughter, she was like, Mommy, did you have it done? I was like, yeah. And like, she tried to laugh a little bit, but it's not funny. Like, I seriously am like in the worst mood today because I'm so traumatized. And this is not even like me. Like, you guys know I'm like so happy, so bubbly, but I'm so traumatized by this thing that untouched my brain. And then like, I was texting my friends, and they had it done. They're like, just calm down, it's gonna be okay. And I'm just freaking out, and I don't know, it's just, this has been like one of the worst days ever. And then everybody was like, well, you had a kid? I'm like, yeah, I had a C-section, and I'm gonna have to tell y'all that story on another video because you guys are gonna be laughing about that, and that's a whole nother topic. But I mean, I don't endure pain very well. I mean, different types of pain I can endure, but just when things come at you, like objects that are not supposed to be, like, I can't deal with that. So I'm so traumatized. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to finish out my day and just relax because I'm like so traumatized. I'm trying not to think about it, but it's like I'm having flashbacks, and I can still feel it. I think I could be okay if I didn't feel it, but I still feel like exactly where it was at in my nose, and it's like my nose wants to water from it. So this is real life. Like, I seriously feel so sad. I knew I should have ran. I knew something told me just to take off in the hills, and you know what, don't even look back. But I didn't have my purse, because I would have just done it. If I had my shoes and I had my purse, I would have just took off, because like they couldn't catch me. So I know I'm a dork, and I know that's what it is, but yeah, so that's a traumatic thing that happened to me today. I'm praying for negative tests, and it's just, man, this is just we're in a crazy time. So make sure to comment on here. If you were me, would you have ran in those hills? Because I'm really regretting that I didn't take off running. Like, it's making me more and more sad that I just didn't take off running. Like, I know there was people watching me, and I was just like really thinking about it. Like, I just should have took off, and then I wouldn't have had to feel this pain. Like, it's literally, my nose is feeling like it's running, and it's so traumatic. But that's my story. Y'all, remember sister, because this ain't right. I just feel so traumatized. It's so traumatic. So, all right. What day is it? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully the next video, it'll be a haul video. Like, literally, I just want to go home and go shopping, go thrifting. I'm so down. I just want to just go thrifting. I'm in my car on my break. I just want to take off and just go shopping. Maybe that would change my mind. So, happy Tuesday. Holla back. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.